Christie Blas. I've met before with Vince and with Troy. I'm a teacher, a mother, my former students. We have Joey and Jarlin, class of 2014, who are also my presidents when I was advising them. My niece from Rhoda, Lucia.
Hi.
My son, Elijah. And my daughter, Kriana.
Hi there, Kriana.
Well, maybe one of the first things, I was talking to Troy about this a little earlier. My niece is starting her first complete year as a teacher, and she's going to be working with me. We're going to be teaching the same subject, and she keeps calling me, asking me, well, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do there? And it's quite sad that we really don't have the resources, and we had adopted a textbook, or a couple of textbooks several years ago, and I'm pretty sure it's outdated, and if we were to even order that same book, it wouldn't be appropriate now for what education stands for today. And she was asking, well, what do we do for spelling? And sadly, we really have only the survey textbooks, which are books that are supposed to be disposed of, given to another place that could make better use of it. So a lot of us teachers are digging into our pockets or going on the internet and trying to find resources for these kids, which means we're all doing something different. So there's no connection in what we're teaching. And I think that would be important for us to have the resources. I mean, I've read the education reform plan, and there are lots of great ideas, the laptops, and I like the non-restricted use of the laptop. I think that's a great idea. A lot of people will disagree with me, but I think that that's a great idea, and maybe that could bridge the gap, but I don't know how soon we can realize that. So I think having books, I mean, we walk into the classrooms and my students are like, well, what did it look like when you went to school? And it actually looked a lot better. You walk into a bare classroom, you don't see books. I mean, the only thing that's updated is that the boards are no longer green or black, they're white, but maybe having those resources for the teachers so that we can all be on the same level, be teaching the same thing.
I think by the way, I'm a firm proponent, and of course I look forward to working with the Department of Education, how we can transition from school books towards the use of laptops and technology.
Or the e-readers, you can download books.
I think that's
instead of having
important
5 textbooks, you have 1 e-reader.
Rather than ordering every 2-3 years new editions, if you have the electronic technologies, you have these laptops and computers in the classrooms.
The latest version.
I don't mind laptops being given to the students so they can take it home and using those laptops, but I do believe that it would, in the long run, save the taxpayers who are on the Department of Education segueing and transitioning into electronic type textbooks. The concerns, the issues that we have right now today, and a lot of the reasons why you see shortages in books, shortages in supplies and equipment, some of the rundown conditions of the facilities, it has a lot to do with the financial condition of the government of Guam as a whole. What I would like to see happen is find ways, again, towards reducing this deficit, but fortifying your needs. I want you to think of it this way. I know there's been a lot of criticism for some of the spending recommendations, cuts recommendations I made, cutting on benefits, early retirement, reamortization of the retirement fund. In a nutshell, what I intend to do is, with the savings that we have through right-sizing government to build more efficiencies, it will accomplish 2 things. It will reduce our deficit, ensure that we have a stable the state of the government will be in a stable condition, including Department of Education, moving forward, and then at the same time prioritizing those areas where there is a need, such as getting you folks the necessary tools so that you can do your job.
And I think another thing is, because I was just talking to these 2 while we were having lunch today, and I was asking them what did they plan on doing. Were they planning on starting a life on Guam? Did they want to stay here? And these are 2 of my very most talented former students, and they're not really sure, but they are thinking about leaving the island and making a life elsewhere. And a lot of times we don't have that competitive job market, and a lot of the students who are talented take their talents and leave the island. What can we do to encourage these kids to keep themselves here so they can help promote a healthy government, be a contributing member of society?
Nowadays, it's a given. You need a high school diploma.
At least. It's not enough.
And even that is not enough. You have to look towards certification for a vocation or a college degree. Because of where Guam is, a proficiency in different types of language, such as Japanese, Chinese, Korean, So, what I want to bring up to you dynamic young ladies there, that again Christie sees as stars. You have all that it takes. It's just about completing your education, looking to where your true desires are and what fascinates you. Also looking at what the potential openings are for our community. So there are a lot of opportunities here in Guam. I just visited the States not too long ago, and there's a lot of communities that you probably don't have the kind of opportunities we have here in Guam as well. So I would recommend, my suggestion is keep the school, and thank goodness you had great teachers like Christie. Get your high school diploma, work towards getting either some sort of vocational certification or a college degree, and absorb as much as you can in terms of an education, and those jobs will be available for you.
And she's actually taken advantage of one of those programs. She's one of the upward bound students, so she's on her track too. And I know definitely she's also college bound, so.
How's school so far? What do you think of the Freshmen Academy, by the way?
The idea is great, but it's really difficult to recruit and retain teachers in the Freshman Academy, because the freshmen come in and they have a very different energy level, and you have to first get them to be, yes, they'd have to first be obedient before you could actually educate them, and so it's really difficult for a lot of them. So a lot of times the teachers go in there, and usually we get the new teachers coming into the Freshman Academy because they don't know what to expect, and then as soon as the school year ends, they don't want to be in the Freshman Academy anymore. So the concept would work if we would have a more stable set of teachers. And when you're always changing teams and you're always changing teachers, it's where everybody's just starting from scratch again. So that's the difficult part of the Freshman Academy.
Sometimes we have the newest teachers that are thrown into the areas.
Where you need a more master teacher.
You need, exactly. And it was either having a mentor over them or getting some sort of training beforehand. Because it's tough getting a degree and then going hands-on into the
and you're getting the most rambunctious set of students. They're great students, they're just very high energy. And a lot of teachers can't